It is incredibly comical to me when men say things like, oh, gotta take her swimming on the first date, gotta wash that makeup off, make sure she's not a catfish. Which, first of all, if you see a woman with gold glittery eyelids and you think that might be real and that's not obviously fake, that's a skill issue. That's a you problem. But second of all, anytime that I've seen a woman in full glam and then I see her without makeup, I can usually be like, yeah, that's still the same person.
That's not what men are complaining about. No man looks at a woman's gold eyelids and be like, wow, she was born that way. It's more stuff like this, where it barely even looks like the same person. Like, what? It's when there's excessive contouring, totally changing the shape of her face. Like this. And I'm not shaming any of these women. I know we all like to sometimes get all dolled up and stuff. But a man wanting to take you swimming on the first date is valid. If that means that much to him to know what you look like without makeup, then valid. Now, if more women wore makeup like this, she still looks the same. Like, yeah, her eyes are a little bit more defined. She's got some pretty lip gloss or lipstick on. And I'm not saying all these women are absolutely beautiful, but if you're doing a more natural look, then a lot of men are not going to complain about that. A man can see a woman like this and know she's wearing makeup. It's obvious, but it's still highlighting her natural beauty rather than changing her overall facial structure and complete appearance.
I was just talking to this girl, and she told me that she has 3 children, but she prefers a man with no kids. And I straight up told her that's selfish. That's selfish because she said she had 2 baby daddies. You already took 2 men down, took 2 out the game. Why should you get the man with no kids? Baby, leave somebody for us. Why we gotta take everybody? No, I don't care what y'all say. I don't care. I feel like the people with no kids should be reserved for the people with no kids. And y'all can say what y'all want to say. I'm really not trying to hear that. But you already had your shot. I'm sorry. You already had your shot. You made 2 men a baby dad. You should be going to go pick up somebody else's baby dad. I'm sorry. I don't care.
You want to know something that most women aren't ready to hear? Modern feminism is chivalry.
I don't think they care.
Modern feminism has shifted from seeking equality to promoting superiority and resentment towards men, framing men as oppressors rather than partners and equals. With the birth of modern feminism, there came the birth of the girl boss, I don't need a man. Chivalry was never meant to make women look weak. It was made to create a culture of mutual respect where men acted honorably towards women and acknowledged their virtue and grace. Yes. Modern feminism, by demanding sameness instead of equality, has blurred those lines. In trying to erase gender differences, it's erased the gestures that celebrate them. The result of this is now we have an entire generation of men who are not willing to honor, pursue, or protect women. We have this entire generation of men who just want to hook up on the first date, who have no respect for women, who don't hold open the door, who don't buy flowers, and it is because of modern feminism. Yep. Not only that, but it is also a result of weak men. There's a reason that our grandparents have the cutest love stories where the men pursued the women and they didn't have sex until they were married and they respected and honored each other. And now we are seeing the result of the crash and burn of modern feminism. And unfortunately, it is affecting a lot of women looking for life partners and a lot of men looking for life partners. Feminism is great. The idea of feminism is great to promote equality, but it has evolved into something that is toxic and dangerous to our society.
Yeah.
What do you think most women misunderstand about male dating frustration?
Men want to settle down. If you look at the data, the most recent data around young men, they want families still, they want marriage, they want commitment, they want legacy, they want to build something. The problem with women is that women set the standards for how other women operate. This is called intersexual competition. And with social media, with Botox, filler, eyelashes, these standards, right, to create contrast, and women will empower or position women to engage in the same types of behaviors that they deem to be empowering because they want to minimize the contrast between competition within the market. So all of that being said, women continue to present themselves in ways that do not align with male preference. Men will sleep with women who are attractive. They will engage with women that they are attracted to, but that does not mean that they will commit to the same bucket or tier of women that they lust over. Those are 2 very different strategies for men. And women don't understand that when men are looking for a long-term partner, they're looking for consistency, they're looking for emotional regulation, they're looking for loyalty, and they're looking for somebody that they can build a life with who has those qualities, the character traits, the morals, all of those things that are aligned with their vision. Men have a vision they want to bring to fruition. They're very purpose driven. If the partner that they have in front of them is not somebody that they deem to be somebody who could support that vision, that purpose in their life, they're not going to commit to that. And unfortunately, women don't understand what men actually want for a long-term partner. They're all trying to keep up with the Joneses of other women who are getting a lot of attention because they fit the category of short-term mating and attraction, but they're not the caliber of women that men actually want to settle down with. And the more that women push other women to engage in these types of behaviors, the less that there is for men to choose from when it comes to long-term commitments.
On today's episode of the Male Loneliness Epidemic, I present to you this post from Realtor.com. Single women are buying more homes than single men. Let's see the comments. Need a home because most rentals don't allow cats. Repeal the 19th. They can have all the houses they want, and I promise you most of them will never be happy because nothing would ever satisfy most women, singular. Yeah, I can see why you think that. Oh, paying well, I see. Ladies, it's not a flex that you bought a house on your own without a man and without divorcing. Men are not attracted to that. What you should have done when your market value is at its absolute highest between the ages of 18 and 24, find a high status, high value man to take you seriously and to allow you to birth his children. That's what you should have done. You can cope all you want by not having a husband or kids, but you know dang well that you would be much happier if you had those things.
But the reason a lot of men ghost women is because women don't just make it easy for you to break up with them either. You see what I'm saying? Sure.
This is about to be toxic because...
Gladly. So, again, it done been plenty of men. These women in the audience, these beautiful women in the audience done been dating. And he done sat her down and said, look, baby, you deserve better than me. You do. You know what I'm saying? You can do so much better than me. I'm not the man you need me to be right now. And I think that you should go out there and try to find somebody that's a bit more compatible for you. And that woman will look that man in the eyes and say, you can't tell me what I deserve. Right? So a lot of men feel like we got to give a damn PowerPoint presentation to get out of the relationship. And to avoid that, they'll just go show us. Again, I'm not validating the behavior. I'm just giving perspective.
When feminists say they don't need men, you ready for this? When feminists say they don't need men, 96% of construction workers are men. 95% of electricians are men. 95% of plumbers are men. 98% of carpenters are men. 94% of HVAC technicians are men. 97% of mechanics are men. 96% of welders are men. 91% of truck drivers are men. And we know what the other 90%
Yeah, right, Marge.
Yeah.
Large
97% of roofers are men. 95% of oil rig workers are men. 90% of machine operators are men. 85% of network engineers are men. 91% of mechanical engineers are men. 86% of civil engineers are men. 96% of firefighters are men. 85% of police officers are men. 80% of military personnel are men. 90% of pilots are men. 94% of train operators are men. 92% of forklift operators are men.
Wow.
These are some of the riskiest jobs in the world.
Just talk about how when a man marries a woman, that's a big freaking deal. Especially to the man. That's a big deal. You're telling me all of these options. There's more women than men in the world. And it's you. You. And especially like, I don't wear makeup. I be eating chicken down to the bone. Okay? Sauce all on my fingers and on my mouth. And he said, yep, that's the one. You're telling me all these women. Some women, you broke they back for your man before y'all got married. And he didn't commit to her. All the money and the time and pouring her heart into that man, and he didn't commit to her. He didn't marry her. He just saw you with your little chicken legs and your little nerdy cute self, and he said, that's the one I want to take care of for the rest of my life. And then I don't have to pay bills. I don't have to pay rent. I don't have to touch anything. And he likes me. I don't have to do anything. He just likes me. That's a big deal.
Anytime she went on a date, she would ask men to see their see their bank account.
Yes. And she's married now. She's engaged to a super wealthy man. I personally think that's a little too much. Okay. That can even ward off a good man. That can scare off a good man.
I agree. If I was a man, that would turn me off as well.
Exactly.
But I do agree with her in the sense of Not the first date, not the second date, maybe when you're really starting to get in it, like you're dating, right? At that point. Here's what I would do to make it a bit more tasteful. I was like, listen, I make this amount of money per year. I'll show you my bank account. I have no shame in showing my bank account.
Because you know what it is? You're not
So
judged
I
on
should-
that.
Yeah.
But
Well-
men are, like, heavily.
But they should be.
Yes. But I think asking is a bit crazy.
If I'm showing mine, you show yours. Men want equality so bad.
They do?
You know what I notice about these modern women is they'll sit up here, hey, we're buying houses, or they'll pick something that they might be doing better at, and then they'll say, oh, we're doing better at this than men are. We're buying more homes than you are. Ha ha ha! Look, we're better than you. Or we're going to college and getting more bachelor's degrees than you are, and graduating at a higher rate than you are as a man. Ha ha! Look, we're better than you. And then have to say that in something that a man built. The universities and things that y'all go to, men built that. You know what I mean? and y'all don't. Let's say that you were the king or the queen of because however you got there, you were so great, people love you. Let's say that was the case. There's a thing called mutiny. There's a thing called rebellion. There's a thing called anarchy. Y'all think that just because y'all get up there and y'all are so educated, man, them folks will knock your doors down. Them folks will kick your doors in and drag you right off of that throne that you on. Modern women don't understand that. Y'all think that y'all gonna say something and by royal decree and royal edict it's gonna be done. If you keep on mistreating people, they gonna pull you out there in the middle of the street and spit on you. Hey man, throw you outside the gates. Fend for yourself. Queen? What are you talking about?
A lot of women have an entitlement attitude.
I've healed. I'm not about to let nobody screw me over.
No, I think entitlement is rooted in something that would actually signal that you are not healed, right? Like, why do you feel like you deserve this thing? But what would even make you think that you have this coming? Here's an example. Let's just use track record. If I want to buy a multi-million-dollar house, not only do I have to have the amount of money to pay the mortgage, but do you know that you cannot purchase a house within less than 3 times of your past mortgage? Does that make sense?
Wait, say that again.
So let's say you want to have a $3 million home. Well, with this interest rate, it's probably going to cost you $20,000 a month. But if you've only ever had a condo that you rented that was $3,000, 3,000 times 3 is $9,000. They will never approve you. Even if you can say, but look, I'm making $50,000 a month now. Yep. But the track record shows you've never had this level of responsibility. Buying a car. They run your credit to look at your history. So if you mean to tell me that you feel like I'm just supposed to get all of these things, what does your history say? Does your history say, wow, I actually can withhold this $20,000 per month mortgage? Does the history say, wow, I actually have paid off every car that I've owned or brought back every car that I've leased and I've never missed a payment? Or does your history say every man I've been with is a narcissist? Does your history say every man's a cheater? Does your history say, as you should? Does your history say, I just need to choose me? If you don't have not one 5-star, like everybody's got something bad to say about you. Everybody? Now I get it. Breakups sometimes can be ugly. I understand. But everybody's a bad breakup? That doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make any sense. So I think that if you have an entitlement mindset, I would ask you to ask yourself, why do you feel like you're qualified for what you're asking for?
Men are no longer obsessed with women anymore. Do y'all feel that way?
100%.
Why do you think that is?
The reason they not obsessed is because I hate to say it again, and I hate to seem like I'm being judgmental to women when I'm a woman myself, but I feel like social media and there's no mystery. I feel like a lot of things that we as women as a whole that we say that maybe sometimes it's just something that we're just putting on social media. It was just a joke. I feel like guys really be turned off by those things. Like they really judging you by the things you
avoid quotes, right? Like
yeah, like I feel like they're really judging you like by those things.
They watch from afar.
And also like just feeling like it's this pressure of feeling like they gotta take care of you. I wouldn't want to be obsessed with nobody if I feel like as soon as I walk to them they're gonna be like, my light bill is due.
Can I ask men a serious question?
Why men scrolling past without giving me a chance?
And where's the men that don't cheat? Guys, I have to speak my truth. I never want to live with a man.
Men love telling women, that's why you're single, that's why you don't have a man.
Do I want a man? Yes. Do I really want a man? No, not really.
Where are my good men? Where are the good men at?
I'm just trying to figure out, when did these so-called men...
I have a question. What happened to men like actually doing stuff for women?
You don't simp for women because there's too many women that are just foul right now, right? Where have all the good women gone? We ask ourselves. Well, they're few and far between, and particularly in the cities. When you simp to these women, and these young women are really hardened, and they're entitled, and there's an ugliness from the inside out. Do you not see it? When you simp to them, they get the idea that they can do no wrong. They get the idea that no matter what they do, you will be there to take it all, to absorb all that, whatever they have. They want to be nasty to you. They want to treat you like garbage, whatever it may be. And most importantly, guys, they get the idea that the power dynamic is in their court. They hold power, and you do not.
If you were to take 10 men and 10 women and abandon them on a desert island, there'd be no talk of feminism. There'd be no talk of girl boss. There would be women collecting berries and making little beds, and there'd be men hunting and building shelters. And if they didn't do that, they would. The men would go instantly masculine, the females would go instantly feminine, and that's the only way the tribe would survive.
The only reason why women aren't doing the that they're doing is because they know that somebody's out there to save them. I don't care, even if it's the government. There is somebody out there that is going to save them. There are other men out there that, even though they talk about, I don't need men and whatever, they still run to men for help. Because when they go to court, most of the time it's going to be a male judge siding with them and giving them what they want.
Women don't like to acknowledge this, but really attractive women who are confident and simple, girl next door type women, they don't need all the stuff. Okay. They don't do all the stuff because they don't need all the stuff because they just look really good without it. Right. And their appeal is that guys know that if they spend the night and then you roll over and the next morning and you look at them, it looks like the same person, right? It's not a costume party the night before and a horror film the next day. Also, they're not going to be like getting their nails and doing this. Like, they tend to prioritize the right thing.
Has the feminist movement completely backfired? Did you know that 70% of women in Australia are forced to work just to make ends meet because a single income no longer sustains a family? Before all this, you could never get women to work. But now, they literally have no choice. Have we been blindsided? Feminists promised us freedom of choice. But what have they delivered? They've delivered a failing economy and forced slavery. How on earth did they convince us that we should leave the comfort of our home, abandon our children, just for a 9-to-5 job, and then call that empowerment? How does that work?
A guy can't tell you to cover up.
Because women, they don't dress like that for men. That's the answer. Okay, really, go put fucking 100 women out on an island with no men around. Do you know how they're gonna fucking dress? In sweats, fucking no makeup, hair in a ponytail. There's no fucking bikinis and beautiful dresses and all that. That's a complete and utter lie. And then you say, there's no good men out here. We've been fucking telling you. But if you're looking for marriage and love and honor and respect and loyalty, what do you think a man is gonna think? Here's the crazy part, is what I'm saying is wrong, but it's how men think.
Hey, do you want this in 4 slices or 8?
Oh, let's do 4. I think 8 slices is too many.
Yeah. No, it's the same pizza, babe. It's like, do you just want it in 4 pieces or 8?
No, 8 pieces is more than 4 pieces, and I'm not that hungry today, so I think you can kindly please just cut it into 4.
Do you want 4 big pieces or do you want 8 pieces of your pizza? This is the same pizza, all right? Your pepperoni pizza.
It's doubling the amount of pieces, Donald, and I just want 4.
It's the same pizza. Do you want me to cut it in 4 pieces or would you like me to cut it in 8?
I just think that 8 pieces is going to be too many for me to eat right now. I don't want a tummy ache. So if you could just cut it into 4, I would like to have a little bit less pizza today. That's all I'm asking.
4 pieces it is.
Johnson's got a new dog.
As soon as a woman calls herself independent, that's a red flag to me. We don't like independent women. We do like self-sufficient women, but there's a major difference between the two. We don't mind self-sufficiency. A woman that has her own career, her own place, cars, money, businesses, we don't mind that. But the minute you start to idolize your independence is where we see red flags, because there's a certain spirit that comes along with that. It's the I don't need anybody paradigm. Let's flip it. How would women feel if they met a man and every time he spoke, he sounded like, I pay my own bills and they're all in my name. I live on my own. I don't need nobody. She'd probably say like, bro, you're an adult. You're supposed to do that. Like, are you good? Like, is there a chip on your shoulder? Like, but even deeper to the point, I'll never make my woman feel like I don't need her. Can you imagine how I would look to a woman who liked me if I walked around shouting how independent I am or how I don't need anybody? Like, imagine how that would make her feel. Nah, I'm waking up every day and reassuring her that I want her, I desire her, and I need her. I'm not a weak man for admitting I need my woman. But I'm worried that some women are so attached to that independent teaching that they're going to independent themselves right into a lonely life. Or worse, form an attachment but still perceive the relationship through an independent field of view.
I'm 36 years old. You ever get to that point in dating where you meet somebody new and they're actually great, and instead of getting excited, you just think to yourself, I gotta do this all over again? Not because you missed the last person, that's not even it. You're just exhausted from starting over. The same process of learning somebody's fears, their traumas, their attachment styles, blah, blah. Just to wake up one day and realize that this one is not gonna work out either. And after enough times, it's not even heartbreak, it's just emotional fatigue, man. Because part of you still wants intimacy, you still want connection. You want to laugh with somebody, you want to build something together, you want to have somebody next to you. But not just anybody. Not some just to fill that hole. I'd rather be lonely forever than do that. Because the other part of you is terrified of fake intimacy. Calling somebody over just because you're lonely. Texting somebody you know that you don't even really want. Using somebody as temporary anesthesia so you don't have to sit alone with your thoughts. Honestly, that weird in-between stage might be the most exhausting part of modern dating, where you crave connection but you no longer have the energy to pretend. Just me?
And I would love for modern women to answer the question that Sarah was asking. Why do you feel entitled? Why do you feel like you deserve the thing that you're asking for? If you want a man that makes a lot of money, why do you feel like that's the man that you deserve? How do you deserve that man? Well, I have an education. That man's, you making $60,000 a year, which is great, but that man probably make that in half a year. You're not, if that man is making double your salary, technically you are not in his league. Y'all are wanting, you guys, y'all are not even making that much money. And let's say that you do make that much money. You're still not in his league. But why do you say that? Y'all don't have the influence. Y'all don't have the leadership. Y'all don't have the network that he has. Y'all don't have the assets that he has. You can't think as quickly as he does. You can't make the same decisions in an accurate manner that he does. You might see, because this is what modern women do. They see on the surface, oh, I'm making as much money as he is, so I must be better than him. Oh, I have a better house or a similar house than he does, so I must be better than him. They only look at surface stuff, and they don't understand until a man starts moving the way he does. Oh, shoot. This man is actually a little bit more advanced than I thought he was.
Are you insane?
Why?
That video with the milk. I made a shake this morning.
How do you
Oh my
feel?
god.
How do you feel?
I'm gonna shit myself on the bus.
If any of you missed it, go back and watch my last video because this woman essentially just put spoiled milk that had been sitting out on the counter all night because of him back in the fridge, and then he later on used it. Effectively, she purposely made him sick in order to teach him a lesson. I really, really hope that this is a skit, because if it's not, that man deserves better. And if it is a skit, well, good thing for them, but I am still highly concerned about women in the comment section because apparently all too many of them agree that this is an acceptable form of punishment, which really just demonstrates the amount of contempt that women will have for their husbands. And I would argue that all of those husbands also deserve better.
I have heard of women either expecting, and not just a babysitter for the kids, of women expecting the man, and I've had guy friends tell me this. Women will text them before the date and be like, this is my Zelle, or you can Apple Pay me like for the Uber to get to the restaurant, or for the child care for the night. And guys are like, is this a thing now? Like I'm expected to pay for the transportation or the babysitter.
But my husband made a good point. If he has kids, he has to pay for his own babysitter, you know, and now he's expected to pay for not only his babysitter, her babysitter as well, and her Uber and the date. That's expensive.
You don't cook and you don't clean.
No, because when the default goes for women to cook and clean in a relationship, then I think that's also why so many people are struggling in relationships, because that's labor. So compared to women's labor, compared to men's labor, if he takes care of all the bills, it's still 5 jobs compared to his.
No. My husband does blue collar work, and what I do at home is nothing compared to what he does outside the house.
Okay.
And what does your husband do for work?
Oh, he does construction.
Does he do heavy machinery, or is he more
forklift, boom lifts, all kinds of lifts? Him doing what he's doing, coming home baked, looking like a freaking lobster. I'm not gonna complain about what I do at home.
And he supports the whole family.
Absolutely. Yeah. And all I'm doing is, what am I doing? Cooking, cleaning.
What if you were working too? Like, would you want him to also clean and cook too?
He offers, but I tell him, no, sit your down. Do not do a thing. You were just out there for like 12, 14, 16, sometimes 18 or more hours.
Oh, dang.
Why am I going to make him do all that? If it weren't for him, we wouldn't be in the building we're in. We wouldn't have the things that we have all around us.
Yeah.
So it's like they are literally the backbone to our society, building the infrastructure that we have all around us, the technology and all of that. You know, so I actually put my husband on that highest level of respect when it comes to the line of work he does. Because if it weren't for him and everybody else, where will we be?
The thing that we forget about his entire platform was that the starting context of the conversation was women who essentially said that a good 80 to 90% of men didn't qualify for them. These weren't just average women who were looking for average men or just a nice, comfortable, average life. No, these are women who were specifically wanting top tier, high earning, attractive men with social status, with connections, with resources, retirement, IRAs, 401ks, all that. So the context of the conversation is basically women saying, hey, most men don't qualify for me. That is the starting conversation. So women are making it seem like he's just going out and just, was making fun of all these women and just saying all these disparaging things. And it's like, that's not true. This conversation wasn't about an average woman trying to find an average man and just live a nice, happy life. It wasn't that. It was women who wanted the best man, the most competitive men out there. So if a woman comes in and says, oh, I am basically better than 95% of men in the human population, if that's essentially what she's saying, then him going and just giving an accurate assessment is not misogynoir, it's not disrespectful. It's him being practical. And so that's what I feel like a lot of people took what he said out of context. They didn't understand where he was coming from, and they completely overlooked the context of the conversation. Context is everything.
Question for the men. Why is it that nowadays men don't tend to approach women in public anymore? I feel like back in the day, 90s, 2000s, it was so common for men to just come up to women and be like, hey, what's your name? Want to grab a drink? And that completely stopped. Why is that?
Men are extremely logical thinkers, which means that the benefits have to outweigh the risks. And today, I'm sorry ladies, in most cases, the benefits of approaching you do not outweigh the risks. Because men are listening to the ladies, and what they are seeing and hearing is that women do not want to be approached unless it happens to be the type of man that she does want to be approached by. But even in those cases, even if that man is that man, he, in most cases, does not think that he's that man. But even if he thinks that he is that man, he's going to have a very difficult time approaching you unless you make it very obvious or you approach him first. Because if he's wrong, not only does he deal with the rejection, because he can deal with that. I mean, men 20, 30 years ago dealt with it just fine. But the difference today is that women have more of an attitude and they get offended if the man that approaches them isn't the man that they want to be approached by. And simply put, women are mean. They are oftentimes going to label that man as a creep. And even worse, there are video cameras everywhere, which means that if she catches it on camera, if she gets it recorded onto her phone, guess where it's going to end up? On social media. And then that man's worst nightmare has happened because now multiple people think that he's somebody that he's not.
What happened to men pursuing girls? When was the pivotal moment that a man chose to not go after a girl anymore or put in any effort? It seems like guys can just put the bare minimum and not even really put in effort anymore. They don't really care to. Or they're like, why don't girls just go and make the first move and make the effort? When did it become a thing? Now it's like role reversal where they expect girls to be making the first moves, yearning for a guy and chasing him. That is, I feel like, the downfall of why it's so hard to meet someone, because men don't put in effort anymore or don't care to put in effort. And a relationship won't work unless the guy likes the girl just a tiny little bit more. He has to like her just the tiniest bit more for it to work in the long haul. So it would make sense if a guy really wanted to get to know you, that he would go leaps and bounds to get to know you. And when did that shift?
Because if a man persisted like that in today's dating world, he would at the very least be called a creep. And at the worst, he'd be going to jail. That is the reality that a lot of men face. So that in combination with the fact that women are not really reciprocating effort and they're not treating men very well right now, there is a large group of men that are saying that it's just not worth it. And they would say that women have asked for it. They have asked men to leave them alone. So guess what, ladies? They're leaving you alone.
If you could get rid of men, snap your finger, would you do it?
I think I would have to sacrifice a big, and I think I would do it if I was capable. Because the world would be a better place.
The world would be a better place if all men disappeared.
Men commit the payoff, no violent
no
crimes. If we wipe out 90% of crimes, there's only 10 left.
I genuinely think if you just disappear all men instantly without any preparation, I think within 2 weeks, 50% of women are. You have to assume if you get rid of all men, because all men are way disproportionately the ones responsible for overseeing infrastructure, you get rid of all men.
He's woke! Confirmed!
What does that have to do with woke?
Men are in charge of all of the infrastructure.
Telecoms, truck drivers, waste management, all men disappear on multiple levels that you couldn't even comprehend. There would be cascading infrastructure fuckery. The food supply, gone. Fires are going to break out within a couple days. There's no firemen to put them out.
There's fire women that already have jobs.
If this is what y'all have to do to look like something you're not, I applaud you. You deserve to look like something you're not, because, baby, I couldn't do it. I don't even know how to put on makeup. I barely remember to put on lip gloss, and I try to keep lotion on. But to go through this, the makeup that gets caked on the face and piled up, woo. I mean, some of y'all faces be looking real beat. That's what y'all use, right? That term to make it. But this is intense. I can't even imagine the money you guys spend on makeup at this point, but to go through all this to look like something you're not, and then get upset when people tell you you don't look like your bare face, is diabolical.
Oh, this is your mama. I don't know. She's a bit of a yapper. I don't know if we have time for that conversation. Okay.
Excuse me. Did you just ignore my phone call?
That was you. You called? It's a zone here.
But I saw you click end.
It's just, You're a bit of a yapper.
Not a yappa. I have important things to tell you.
Here we go. Let's chitter chatter.
Well, I was calling because so I'm at Costco, right? Because you said you were out of Chomps, and there was a girl that walked by me because I did a lap after I found your Chomps, and she had those green pants on. Do you remember when we went to the mall? Like, I think it was like 2 weeks ago. Actually, no, it's probably more like a month ago now. But do you remember the green pants? Hello, honey.
And it really is weird. I think there was a clip where one was talking about women saying you can pay me, you can Zelle me, you can Apple Pay me, you can Cash App me for the Uber, so I can make it there. Instead of you coming to pick me up, you can Cash App me for it. And modern women act like they're the client that the man is trying to win over. So they take their liberty and I'm just going to get something a little bit nicer than I would if it were myself. And they start, doing stuff on a man's dime. You do realize that you're taking advantage of, a real man would want to do. No, okay, let's say that the real man would want to do that. Don't you think that you should know the real man before actually continuing to do that? Don't you think that you should build a relationship so he doesn't feel like he's being taken advantage of? Kind of having like a little bit of decorum, a little bit of etiquette.
Things my wife does that would send a low effort woman into a coma.
Let's see what you get. She doesn't let him touch a piece of laundry. She buys all of his clothes. She plans all of their trips with an itinerary. She decorates their home to the T, and she celebrates him. You guys, the comments on this video are disturbing. So many women complaining, well, what does he do for you? And what's crazy to me is that that's in the comment section when the woman that is sitting literally right next to him, she starts off with a really bright smile. Like, she's happy. You guys see it. Well, let me tell you, her smile increases. She becomes more happy. She's like giggling through it. She's saying, oh, I didn't know that you noticed that even. Like, she feels appreciated for it, which to me just reinforces that women will say all day long that they support other women, that they're a girl's girl. But then here they are in the comment section trying to bring down a woman because she's actually in a happy marriage.
I think it's absolutely hilarious that modern women like to squawk, bring back men who plan dates and take care of women. Okay, cool. But before we do that, how about we bring back the women who deserve it? Because ladies, you do not get traditional benefits with modern behavior. You don't get chivalry without character. You don't get protection without loyalty. And you don't get provision without peace. Here's the part nobody wants to say out loud. You see, back then when men planned dates and take care of women, women actually brought something to the table too. Hard to believe, I know. But apparently there's picture and video evidence of this if you can believe it. You see, ladies, back then the women weren't combative, entertaining backups, addicted to attention, and they did not test boundaries for fun. They were cooperative, supportive, loyal, and easy to deal with. Being around her made your life lighter, not heavier. That's why men invested, because women were worth it. But now, men having to deal with paying for everything, planning everything, and committing to everything while tolerating everything. And what does the man get in return? Attitude, ego, disrespect, other options, and you're being too controlling. That's not a relationship. That is a bad business deal. Men aren't stingy, ladies. We're just rational. If she's peaceful, loyal, feminine, and adds value to your life, a good man will plan dates, spend money, take care of her, and he would be more than happy to do it. But if she's high maintenance, argumentative, and exhausting, maybe she gets coffee, if she's lucky. Because investment follows return. Always has, always will. You want old-fashioned men? Cool. Be an old-fashioned woman. Otherwise, stop asking for queen treatment with concubine behavior. Subscribe and hit that notification bell to continue getting dating wisdom just like this.
Who do you think is more of the issue nowadays when it comes to dating and relationships, men or women? Both. Both. Capital B, capital O, capital A, capital F. Both.
I think it's single moms.
What?
I think single moms
That wasn't a choice.
I think single moms are raising daughters to be so hard that men don't want them. And I think they're raising sons to be so soft that women don't want them. And so now we have a cycle of kids where nobody wants to date each other because nothing feels real. And I think it goes back to being responsible with our bodies. If we would stop getting pregnant by bums that we don't like, if we would stop getting pregnant by Ray Ray and Pookie down the street, everything would change. I really, in my heart of hearts, believe that if we would take responsibility, we could better raise children, not inside of our own survival mode, not inside of we need to grow up and now the kids are learning as we grow up. It's literally, I'm powerfully choosing to bring you into this world, and I can teach you how to be a young, soft woman, little girl.
Can you think of a single time ever in history where women have collectivized and used force to take anything from men?
Not force.
And so if that's the case and men have a monopoly on force, you're always going to have to appeal to them to not use it on you. Because here's the dirty truth, and it's brutal, and I'm sorry, but I'm not going to lie to you. I know that if men collectivize in the West and decide to put women in little cages, there's not a they can do about it. So they really have to appeal to the benevolence of men, and all they do is demonize them, and that's crazy to me.
So I mean, again, like when I mentioned earlier how that kind of justifies like any tyrannical invading force, do you think there's
not a justification, it's a descriptive.
The less powerful party in that situation should just appease to the oppressor or the invading force?
The thing is that, let me ask you this. If you have somebody who's larger than you are and can beat you up, do you talk to them?
No, not necessarily.
Why not?
So they don't beat me up.
They don't beat you up, right?
But there should still be some kind of...
Hang on. Is that a form of appeasement?
Well, I just distance myself from this person.
So it's not a form of appeasement?
But a third party
hang on.
witnessing...
Answer the question I asked first. Is it a form of appeasement when someone's much larger than you, so you don't talk to them because you don't want to get beat up? Is that appeasing?
I mean, you're not really doing anything in that
Right. It's not appeasement then. So when we're talking about this, it's not appeasement either.
A lot of us were raised by women who hate men. Women who had so much unresolved pain, bitterness, and trauma that they passed that hatred down. Nobody wanted to talk about it because it disrupts the narrative that women can do no wrong. But be honest, how many of y'all grew up hearing, don't depend on no man, all men are dogs, don't let no man play with you, men only want one thing? But not once did they tell you how to choose a good man. Not once did they tell you how to communicate with a man. Not once did they tell you that not all men are your enemy. The wild part about it is most of those women wasn't healing. They was projecting. They was recruiting you into their war against men that they started, that they lost, and that they never recovered from. Now whole generations of women is out here fighting battles that they never experienced. Blaming men they never even met. Getting into relationships already angry at somebody who isn't even in the room.
Women be too cool on dating apps sometimes. They be like, oh, my friends dared me to download Hinge. No, they didn't. No, they didn't. Nobody tells you to do that. Or they'll be like, the prompt's like the biggest risk you've ever taken. It's always moved across country or downloading this app. Like you want what I want on this app. I hate when people cap. And it's not just women, because like couples in general would do it. They'd be like, oh, how'd you meet? They'll be like, the gym. Like, no, you met online. Y'all seen each other and said need that digitally. All right, I know why I'm on Hinge. I want to go out for sushi or something. Maybe a little nightcap at a bar, and then make out in public, even though we're both too old for that. Like, matter of fact, I love you. First date, first link, I don't care. It's not love bombing if I really feel that way. Like, you know how celebrities get married in like 6 weeks of knowing each other? Like, I actually feel that, bro. Enough of the chit chat. I'm not too cool.
Mommy, did you hear what Daddy said earlier?
What?
Earlier. Let Daddy say it. Daddy, you say it. Okay, so we were talking, right? And then I was like, my husband's gonna have to deal with me when I'm older. And he was like, no.
Your husband?
Mm-hmm. He was like, no. You shouldn't be someone who, what was it?
You should be someone to deal.
You shouldn't be someone to deal with. You should be someone to build with.
Hallelujah!
He did his thing.
That's what's wrong with your house. You're not building. You a problem.
Can I get a witness?
Like, she talking, training her up. That's the way you should go, daughter. You talking to her daughter. I'm telling you, talking to him, daughter. I like your daughter. Talk to him, daughter. Huh?
Talk to him.
That's the problem.
Grace, I'm talking to you.
That's the problem. They wonder what's going on because they're somebody to deal with, not somebody
to deal with.
That's what I'm saying, man. It changes the game.
I need a hard-working woman that can take care of me, pay all the bills. While I bind you in the name of Jesus. Out of this place. Principalities on power.
Like, if you broke, just say that. See, but what I realized from these reactions, like, a lot of women just can't afford me. Nor are they tall enough. If you're not 6 feet or above, you have no chance with me. If you don't make 6 figures, you don't stand a chance. And it's like, for real, like, if y'all broke, just say that. If y'all can't take care of a man, why even try to waste your time talking to him? You're broke. You don't make 6 figures. You can't afford me. How are you going to pay for my haircut every 2 weeks? How are you? You can't afford me. You see the barber prices? You can't afford it. If you're a woman and you're not above 6 feet, you don't make 6 figures, we're done. There's nothing to talk about. There's nothing to talk about. Go to work, go get your bag up, and then we can conversate.
Can we normalize you letting me borrow your husband, and not in that way, you freaking weirdos, but like in the way where you both come over and he helps, you know, hang my TV and lift all the heavy things, and we drink wine at the same time, and I'll make you both dinner, and he can have a beer at the same time too. Like it's a win-win-win-win. But I need to borrow your husband.
But no, dude.
Go ahead, Alex.
No. What? No. What? No. No. This is not. You didn't sign up for this package.
Right.
No. What?
Right.
What?
Right.
Can I borrow your wife?
Right.
No, we can't. No. No shot.
No, dog.
Find a single guy to do that, and make some trade. That's bad. But yeah, make some trades with him.
Yeah.
No. Hey, babe, I'm gonna go over to Vanessa's house.
Mm-hmm.
What? Oh, we're gonna drink some wine, and I'm just gonna do some chores for her. Okay, cool. See you at 10. No shot.
This is wild.
And I'm glad that this is the importance of a father. Because a woman, a young lady, you know, got a nice house, man, beautiful home, beautiful family. But that's the way that she's thinking. She's got a mother and a father. That's what I be saying. A lot of times we try to say it's, you know, women without a father. No, these women with parents growing up in a nice area of town, well-fed, well-dressed. It's not like they starving. Oh, I got to hustle. I got to do it. No, they got everything that they need. Educated, gonna have a car when it comes time. Really, honestly and truly didn't really want for anything. They still think the same way. It's in society that they act in this way. And daddy got to come in and say, no, you shouldn't be acting like that. You shouldn't be somebody that a man has to deal with. You should be somebody that a man wants to build with. I don't want to have to put up with you. That's not cute.